Hey, kids, and welcome to our podcast.
Where it's just two girls just talking about being bros.
Honestly. Welcome back.
Woohoo, we're back in the studio.
New week, new us.
No sicknesses.
No sicknesses.
This is the first podcast.
No physicals.
This is the first podcast in probably about a month that neither one of us is physically sick.
No,
Crazy.
I'm physically in pain. Does that count?
No.
So
We're
that's
not
okay.
getting sick.
Can't win them all. Mm-hmm. But before we move on, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's 2GirlsBeingBros. The 2 is a number. On our Instagram, 2GirlsBeingBros _ and then TikTok and Twitter is also 2GirlsBeingBros. I guess, well, before we get into it, song of the week.
Yeah.
Because finally...
She came prepared.
I've come prepared before. It's just finally you come unprepared. It's rare.
But it's kind of fun. It's the Roxanne song scramble. Which one of the 10 Justin Bieber songs is it today?
It's only funny because it's a One Direction song.
My next thing was gonna be which Harry Styles, or yeah. No, but we love it.
Well, which weekend song are you picking today?
Well, that's because I said, right.
I know. I was watching. Yeah, now it's the Vic scramble. Scramble.
Vic 3 song scramble.
So, and if you hear that, that's the laundry being done.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get to hear
Victor's not washing it by hand.
Or is that just a dryer?
This one's more like a beep, I think, right?
Yeah.
No? I could be wrong.
No, we'll find out.
But, okay, let's jump into it. So mine, we're going to do a quick throwback to One Direction's first album. The song is Still the One by One Direction. Disrespect.
Fun.
Yeah, well, you know what? You know what's not fun? Getting bullied.
That's facts. We don't stand by that. We never done that in our lives to each other. Ever. My song of the week is Out of Time by The Weeknd. This one, I love it.
Another R&B? Because it's so smooth.
I literally was about to say that. It's like a Michael Jackson-esque song. I was in Chicago this past week. I'm gonna get a little quick wrap up on that. But I walked into a store and then this song was playing and I was like, I remember hearing it at the concert. I'm like, it's just so good. Why haven't I added this to my playlist yet? And I did.
Now it is. Now it's all a part of it. So
yeah. I just came back from Chicago.
Yeah, she did, baby.
Did a little weekend trip. It was pretty nice. Just really quick, but really nice. Did all the classic boat tour.
You guys pretty much went for like 24 hours.
Yeah, literally.
That's wild.
We did wake up at 4:30 a.m. I'm recovering from that still. So we did get there midday one day, which was nice that we had the whole day, but then I was also exhausted. So, you give or take.
Give and take.
Yeah, we basically only had like 48 hours in Chicago.
Yeah.
But we made the most of it. It was pretty fun. My one takeaway from it, I do love Chicago, I must say. It's one of my favorite cities ever. I will gladly go back every year. But I must say, the thing that shocked me the absolute most was, so me and my brother went shopping. And we went to... we both love sneakers, so we went to, there's a JD Sports there, and it's a big chain in the UK, so I don't know what I was doing in Chicago, but we went there anyways. We walk in, and let me tell you, I was in shock. They have Jordans, Dunk Lows, New Balance 550s, like all these like shoes that are impossible to get here in Toronto and Canada at like, for like women specifically, just readily available.
But just in general, they just had shoes. Like, they have, like, all the selection of shoes that you need. I remember, that's why, like, I bought my platform, because I was looking for black platform Converse for, like, months in Toronto, and then I never found it, and then, like, we walked by a store in America, and I was like, I'm buying them right now, because, like, no way. Like, if they have my size, obviously.
And I was in shock, because it was every store, too, because we went to Champs, and they had, again, Jordans, like, Dunks, New Balances, and, like, Foot Locker, and... I was just shocked that it's so readily available at retail price. Granted, yes, I did pay in USD, but it's still the same. Like, I would have paid it in CAD here. So Victor went a little crazy and bought two, because I've been searching for these shoes for months, for years on end.
Wait, so you bought the 550s?
The 550s, and then I got a pair of Air Jordan mids. So
did I see a picture of them?
I'm
you have a picture
of them? I do. The
I know
color.
You Snapchatted me the Dunk Lows.
Yeah.
Sorry, not the Dunk Lows. The New Balances.
Now the thing with them. Yeah, these are them.
Oh, nice. I like the color.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm not super crazy about it though. For me, like, yeah, because it's a bit of a yellow like tint, more so than beige. Like, I'd prefer it was a little bit more on the beige side. It's more like yellow. I think it's the coconut milk. I think that's the name of it. I don't know. Whatever. So I'm not super crazy about it, but it was like subtle enough that I was like, I'm getting them, and just the fact that they're impossible to get here. I was like, I need to get a pair. Yeah. But we went back the next day because my brother wanted to show my dad a pair of shoes. And I go, I'm like, I'm so bored. Because, like, also, side note, like, I'm a shopper that's in and out. My family likes to browse. Look, I'm like, my brother was here yesterday. He's looking like he's never been in the store before. And I'm like, can we hurry it up? So I'm bored. So I go look at the women's shoes again. Yeah. I'm like, who knows? Maybe they drop something new in a day. And then I see these Jordans at the bottom. And they're pink.
Ooh.
Like, granted they're magenta, but, like, the magenta, whatever, detailing.
Yeah.
And, like, black. And I was like, laces. And I was like, those are so much cuter than what I have. Asked for my size. They don't have my size. So I was really sad. And then Augustus comes up to me. He's like, oh, yeah, I saw those yesterday. But I think when I got to the women's section, the store ones, someone was holding them to, like, so they weren't there when I saw. They were on display. And he didn't tell me. He didn't, because I just when I saw the other ones, I just immediately shocked that there was Jordans there in my size. So I was like, I need to get a pair. Yeah. But he didn't tell me that there was pink ones.
What a fake fan!
I know, and there probably was a size for me that day. And I was like, what a scam. But that's my little Chicago wrap up. I got shoes that I finally wanted. But my plan is, because we're going to New York.
Yep.
We're gonna go scope out whatever, fill like our champs. I'm gonna see if I can find another pair of Jordans in a color that I like more.
Sounds
and
good.
Sell those. And because I'm not gonna touch them till December.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
And then if worst case, I'll check in November when I go to Cali. When I go to Cali, baby.
Cali.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
Yeah, because they'll sell here for sure.
Yeah.
And if I sell them for a decent price, which I will, because I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I'm selling them for $500.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The shoe game in Toronto is weak.
It's
even like atrocious. Now, like I want like the platform Uggs. Like the overcoat ones, because Elise sent me a picture. Yeah. And then she's like, why are these kind of cute? And I was like, why do I kind of love them too?
You would rock those.
Right?
You would rock those.
So I was gonna try them on today because I was working today. Nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, they definitely have them in America. 100%.
For 100%.
When you go there, 100%.
So yeah, when I go in November to California, I'm planning on packing the least amount of objects.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna pack like too, yeah. I'm wearing my bathing suit on the flight. Like I'm wearing flip flops there, buying shoes there. Like I don't care. Sure, it's gonna be cold here. I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
She doesn't care. He doesn't care.
I traveled in the summer and I was freaking fully clothed and I was still cold. So there's no point in trying.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I'm excited.
Right? Go to shoe stores.
That's what I'm saying. That's like 100%. I'm gonna shop and like, granted the price isn't gonna be any better.
No.
But I don't care. As long as I get the because the thing is like no other color interested me. Like I was like, I know I want the black ones. And I know I want the platform. Like, they showed me other shoes and, like, other styles, like, similar but not the same. And I was like, no. Like, I know I want these. It's different if I'm just, like, browsing. Then it's kind of like, okay, like, maybe I'll see a shoe that I like. But if it's what I know and you just don't have it, I'm like, sorry. I'm not about that.
But it's not even that bad, too. Because, like, the thing is with, like, those shoes is that they never go on sale. They're always going to be that price that they are. So even though it is in USD... Even with the conversion, it's pretty much identical to what you would pay here because it's more expensive here. Yeah. But it's always that like price. So that's why I'm like, whatever. Did it cost me $400 for two shoes? Yeah. I'm sorry.
And what about it?
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry to myself. But okay, we move on. You know what I saw?
What?
The platform Converse in the most lovely green shade, almost like this.
Oh.
But like a little bit lighter. No, because I was paying $400 out. And I was like, I need those two. And I don't think like, I love the platforms on you. Who else has platforms? I saw you didn't wear the platform spiky ones. Spiky Converse
those ones. Yeah.
I'm like, they look great on her. I don't know if platform is the move for me. I don't know. There's something about it.
I feel like the black platform is more me, but I feel like if you got like a pretty color, that would be more you.
Maybe, but
because like for me, like the black platform, it's like you're like, you know, like that person's intense. Like there's no like.
But it looks so good on you. Like,
right? I don't wear them sometimes, and I just feel different. And then when I put them on, I'm like,
it's
that's
insane.
it.
Like you were made for platform shoes. Like, but not even just sneakers. Like heels. You had the platform heels that look so good on you. I'm like, you're just born to wear platforms.
I am. I'm gonna get my platform Uggs. You guys are gonna see.
It's gonna be iconic.
I even have my platform sandals.
If you get them, you have to bring them for
100%.
Those are like, they're hideous, but like kind of hilarious, but kind of nice, I guess. I don't know. I just hate Uggs so much. Like, I truly despise Uggs, but
you hear the way she talks. I'm kidding. No, they are so ugly, but I love them ironically. So even my fuzzy sandals.
Yeah,
they're so stupid and so impractical. I can barely walk in them, but they're so beautiful. So and then did you see me with the socks? So I wore to dancing. I wore my so I have these huge platform. Like, I think genuinely they're this thick, if you can see. So like, I'd say, like, for the people listening, I'd say like the height.
Half of that.
3/4. 3/4 of a height of a medium Tim Hortons coffee cup. 3/4 of that. Of the cup itself, not with the lid. With the lid, I'd say it's a half. So I wore that. And then I wore my, like, Hanes crew cut socks. So they go, like, 3/4 of my calf, because I have the tiniest calves on this planet. The shortest shins and everything. Like, my thighs are long. And I wore it, and it's just such a look. Like, I screenshotted Nadia's B-reel, and I just look so stupid, but I love it. That's my thing now. I'm like, I don't care. Like, look, I look like freaking Bigfoot, but I love it.
I love it.
Right? Like, it just looks so stupid, but what can I say? I also bought a cat sweater recently. I was going to wear it today, but unfortunately I wasn't going to wear it to work because I knew I was perishing.
Next week you're wearing it. I'm wearing my duck sweater. I got a duck sweater. It's kind of hilarious too.
Sounds good. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. But
animal sweater nation.
Yeah. But speaking of work.
Oh, yeah.
I had work today. So I was supposed to wake up at 5. I woke up at 6. My shift was at 7.
Nice.
And like, to be honest, I actually prefer the early morning ones. Because you get, if you start at 7, we open at 10. So you have like 3 hours of like, just kind of like crunching away, like just focusing on like setting up the products and like making sure everything's ready.
Yeah.
So like, that's so nice because like when stuff isn't ready or prepared properly, it's so annoying when the customers come and then you're like, yeah, let me grab from the back. And then you're in the back for like 7 years. My biggest fear is like me taking so long in the back that someone just leaves. And then I'll be like, we wasted both our times here today. But for some reason, my alarm didn't go off, so I woke up at 6, and naturally, I'm proud of myself because I'm typically, like, if I'm not forced to be awake, I will sleep forever. Like, I physically could sleep, like, through till midnight. Like, you know, like, if I, like, went to bed at 11 p.m., I'd sleep all the way to next day midnight. Like, I sleep like a dead person. Like, I was, like, telling my one of my managers, and I was, like, and she, like, laughed, and I was like, no, like, for real. Like, my alarm is, like, the foghorn one. And I still struggle. I struggle. Like, it doesn't wake, like, it like wakes me up and I'll just go right back to sleep. It's so bad. I have to find something that works because nothing works full time.
Yeah.
I have tried it all. I've tried putting my phone across the room. It doesn't work because I just get back into bed. I've tried cold sleeping where, like, you know, like you're colder. I've tried being warm when you wake up so that it's like, you know, like you're not worried about like, oh, it's cold outside. Doesn't work. Like, not long term. Like, I will eventually just like stop. It'll stop working. Even the foghorn alarm doesn't work on me anymore.
Looks like I'm gonna have to come to your house with an ice bucket.
I think you might have to. Do it, please. Can we actually
leave your window open? No, I would never because I mean I have to wake up early.
Not early. You just have to wake me up.
Yeah.
I won't, Victory, I struggle to wake up at, like, if I don't have physically anywhere to be, I'll be like, oh, I'll wake up at 9, which is like an 8-hour sleep for me because I'm going to bed at 1. I'll wake up at noon.
Yeah.
My body just will be like, no, we're not waking up at 9.
Tired.
We're not waking up at 10. Not even. I wake up and I'm like sick of sleeping, but I can't get my body out of it. It's so bad. Do you know what it reminds me of? This disgusting salad that I kept eating. Before Greece. Where, like, it's just, like, could I probably stop? Sure. Should I probably stop? Yeah. Can I stop? No. I was telling someone at work that story, and they were like, why?
Are you okay?
Why did you keep eating it? And I was like, I don't know. It wasn't spoiled, so I didn't have a reason not to eat it. Yeah. And then they were like, well, it tasted bad. And I was like, so bad. I was like,
you're right.
So bad. Even today, I got a pesto pasta pesto salad from Cultures, and it started tasting bad again, like that salad, but I still ate it all. So I think I'm allergic to something because it started tasting all fine and then just started getting weird and weird.
You know what? You know how I don't know if I was talking about this on the podcast. I talk about with you. Every time I eat fresh, I never feel good. But there's something about it that keeps making me eat fresh.
Yeah.
I think it's oil. Like a lot of oil upsets my stomach.
I think it's the oil too.
Like I've started to make the connection. I'm pretty sure oil really sets me off. Like when there's an excessive amount.
I concur. I agree because I can and that's something that I was eating when I was eating the pasta today. I tasted it and I was like, it's not the pasta because I know what pasta tastes like, and I know what garlic tastes like. I know what pesto tastes like. It did taste very
I think I might have cracked the code because all of Fresh's food is very heavily oil based.
Yeah.
Or like their dressings or whatnot, or dressings I get are like oil based. I'm pretty sure oil sets me up because I ate something in Chicago too. I didn't feel the greatest, and then I was like, that had an excessive amount of oil.
You're onto something.
I think
for
oil,
me, I think it might just be a type of oil. That's what I'm predicting.
That's what I'm also thinking. I'm thinking that the source is oil. I'm pretty sure that's what sets me off.
We'll keep the tabs on it, but I actually do think it's a good theory. I'll sit with you on that one.
Stay tuned.
I'm sitting on your side.
That also just reminds me, guys, if you haven't seen last week's video, make sure to go check it out. We cooked some HelloFresh. But holy smokes, that ricotta hurt me bad.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
like,
no.
I was in so much pain in my
no
tummy.
way. That's wild. After
it was just so cheesy.
After I went home?
Yeah.
No way.
I got such bad stomach pain.
Damn, that sucks. I was fine.
But
physically,
I knew it was from the ricotta. That cheese.
That cheese.
Too much.
That cheese music. It shouldn't be wet cheese. I don't know anything about cheese. We've just got some great one-liners in all of our videos. So make sure to check out our YouTube channel. Again, 2GirlsBeingBros. We post videos and podcasts. They alternate weekly. So one week you'll get a video. Next week you'll get a podcast. We even it out. So
it's a fun time here.
That's a fact. Every time I'm like, this video idea is subpar at best, it comes out great.
It's so good.
Like the Julie making video, like that one had me actually laughing out loud. Where like specifically the part where like you're talking to me and I just like look you in the face and then I just start singing. But that's just the way, like that's just who we are. Like, and that's the, like I can't remember. So I think the first time it happened was like we were in the car and then I think one of Justin Bieber's song came on and then like I was talking and then I was just like started singing and then she was like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "No, when Justin Bieber comes on, internally
and I'm fine with it."
Yeah, but then it just starts happening all the time now. So like at work, like it was side note, hilarious. So one of my key leaders, like for some reason I think we just happened to like have a lot of overlapping shifts or whatever. So then like I just like heard a lot of his music and then eventually I was like, "Can I request some songs?" He's like, "Sure, what song?" And then I was really craving Late Night Talking by Harry Styles. So I was like, "Can you play?" And he's like, "Okay, sure." So he like put it in the queue and then like whatever, like I'm just like going on about my day, but like he always used to put it in the queue. So like it's not up next. So a couple songs go by, whatever. I kind of forget. And then like I hear like late night talking starting and I like lose it as though I didn't like I was just like, and I was like singing along and then later like I saw him and I was like, "Oh my gosh, the song's playing." And then I was like, I requested. He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, tee hee. And then they're like, "Can I use the fitting room?" I'm like, "Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you may." And then but then this happened one time when my manager was talking to me and I was like, I think it was Peaches that came on and I was like I was like staring her in the eyes and I was like just focusing so hard and I was like, "I got my peaches out in Georgia." And like that was going on in my head and like luckily what she was saying wasn't that important that like I actually had to pay attention. But it was just like my brain was, I was like taking those two wires and like sticking them together to kickstart it. It wasn't working. And then it happened with a guest where like they were talking to me and like luckily they weren't asking for a product. They were just talking about something. But like I was sitting there and I like it took everything in my body and I'd just be like, "All I do is late night talking." Like I just want to groove. It's so bad.
They probably sing along with you.
Huh?
They'd sing along with you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
like,
let's play some good
groovy
songs.
That reminded me though when you said Peaches. We're gonna get to hear Peaches live, but with Giveon.
Oh yeah.
In a couple of days.
That's so exciting. I can't.
I'm so excited to see this man. Like one, just because I want to see if he's a real person, because he seems just too perfect to be real.
Right? Like voice, looks.
everything.
The whole package.
2, I just can't wait to hear Heartbreak Anniversary live and like the verse in Peaches. Oh, and Stuck on You. I might cry. Maybe.
Stay tuned.
But to hear his voice live, that's gonna be insane.
Oh, that man's got pipes.
Very
Let me tell you. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so we're going to his concert.
A couple of days
coming up.
That's it's next week.
5 days from now.
Yeah, that's nuts. You mentioned something about it. Oh yeah, we were talking because it's a dancing day. You're gonna miss dancing, and you're like, yeah, you're like talking about how like, oh, I'm not gonna be here like the next PAX. I was like, what are you talking about? Givion's concert's not for like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh wait, no, yeah, next week. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, I kind of keep forgetting. And then I was like, and there's another concert I'm going to, and then I realized it's Harry Styles. But yeah, I'm excited.
Manifesting that I'll still get to Blackpink somehow. Don't know, it's not looking good, guys. But if anyone has any connections out there and wants to give me a ticket, please let us know. Thank you. That's my
You would love that. Oh, but yeah. So yeah, I'm still working at Lululemon, you know, and turns out I get to keep my job. So
nice.
For some reason, I don't know what came over my body, but I hallucinated. December 10th was like a blackout period where no vacation. Like you can't. Well, okay. So technically, what they say is like they legally don't have to accept your vacation or approve your vacation. Sorry. They can if they want to.
Yeah. And
if like let's say it's insignificant to the scheduling. But so they said like, like no I for some reason I thought it was December 10th where they were like no vacation. So I was like, let's book New York the weekend before. And then by that point I had already booked and like paid a good chunk amount for my California trip. And then I was talking to one of my colleagues like blah blah, and then she's like, oh yeah, like because I think I was talking about just like total vacation time, and then I was like, yeah, I hope I have enough for like December. And then she's like, what are you talking about? Like the blackout period starts after Black Friday, which is the end of November. And I was like, haha, this is so funny because I have already paid for my flight to New York in December.
And we clicked no refunds, baby.
Yeah. And I'm like, and not even that, I was like, I'm not canceling the trip.
Yeah.
Like when I realized I texted you guys when I was like, oh, I can't go to New York or whatever. Like I meant like, work-wise, I'm not allowed to go to New York or whatever. Like that's not okay. I was like, I will quit gladly if I can't go. But yeah, so I was like, okay. And then me and this girl, we go up and talk to my manager, and then she's like, yeah, no, it starts November 1st. And me and her were both like, and I was like, oh, because me and my coworker Adriana are both going on this trip together for a week. Like it's like from the 6th, like we land back in Toronto at 12 on the 12th, but like it's like 6 a.m. so like, but we do get like a full like 6 days there, which is nice. But yeah, so it was just like that was just like a big mess, and I had to talk to them. But then like I got scheduled, or like I first realized this I think like last Friday, and then or not even, I think it was Saturday.
Chicago, yeah.
It was so it was a Saturday, so like it's really busy. So then I worked Saturday, and then I worked Sunday. And like both of those days are really busy, and then like my managers obviously like they have different days off or whatever, so I had to talk to a certain one of them, but she was off, blah blah blah. And then so I go in today, and like luckily she was there, so I talked to her about it, and she was like, okay, like she's like, yeah, it's just like for like longer trips. She's like, the week should be fine since it's in November. Like if it was like week in December, there would be a bigger issue. But then she was like, okay, and then the December one should be fine. Like she just said like, oh, like you might just have to be more available like before the trip and then after the trip, because then like she's gonna move more people like around the time that I'm gone. So then she's like, that's what I have to do. And I was like, sweet, no problemo. Like I totally understand, and so it worked out perfectly.
Nice. So no trips canceled here, folks.
Going on 2 vacays, and I told my dad, and he was like, whoa. And then I was like, fair, take that in.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Greece,
Big one. Budapest.
Yeah.
Well, Hungary, I guess, if we're naming countries. And then California and New York. Those are okay. Those are all in America. 3 of those are in America. But still, compared like before this, like I only went to Barbados. Yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, it's very, very different. But you know, crazy. I'm like, sure, my pockets are so far empty.
But the experiences last a lifetime.
That's a fact.
That is fact.
I might be going to Brazil with our dance group, and you're
going to Portugal.
Yeah, but official no for Brazil?
Probably, most likely. No.
I keep my fingers crossed. You can't blame me for wanting you to be there.
Of course. No.
I'm not actively trying to convince her, so I'm being a respectful friend because I respect her answer. But you can't blame me for desiring it.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't I want my BFF for life?
I get it.
To be there.
Oh yeah, that's a story we're gonna tell in a second. But yeah.
Yeah.
Big trips coming up next year.
That's a fact.
Very big question marks.
Let me tell you. And then I was well, I mean, now I think there was like a hurricane or something in Florida, right?
Yeah.
And then I was going to go to Florida with Elise, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
And also her condo's under construction. So, but we'll see. That could be fun too.
Yeah.
When in Rome, you know.
Yeah. Never know.
But yeah, before we get into it, so it turns out I can't remember. I don't think so. Let's backpedal a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I guess it's just, I don't know if it's just my family thing or just like culturally, like maybe Ukrainians don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. But I don't know. For some reason, like Thanksgiving is so not a big deal in my family. Like like my aunt before COVID, she used to have us over and like, but it was like more like our family just kind of went because it was like an opportunity to see family, like whatever. But like the actual act of like spending Thanksgiving with our family meant really nothing to us. It was just like, oh, family time, you know?
Yeah.
And then like obviously COVID happened, so we didn't gather, whatever. And then, but even before then, like there's a few years like when my aunt got like her and my dad are twins. So like they're just kind of like getting up there in age, and like it's just a lot for her with like as the family grew, because like her kids got married and had kids, and then like, you know, it's a whole ordeal for nothing. So she just kind of got over it, because like the last few Thanksgivings, like I've just been kind of spending like willy-nilly. Yeah. Like I think like my first year Thanksgiving, I was just studying because I had like midterms and stuff. Second year Thanksgiving, who knows? Third year Thanksgiving, who knows? Whatever. And then COVID, whatever. But thankfully, on brand, this Thanksgiving, me and Vic, we were recording a video. Yeah. So I was at her place. And it just ended up being literally one of my favorite Thanksgivings ever.
It was a wild Thanksgiving too. I mean, we usually get together with my dad's side of the family, so I guess we do celebrate Thanksgiving. Yeah, my mom's someone who's very like, she likes tradition. She likes to like do stuff even if no one's on board, which like I understand. So whatever. So yeah, so even though like we weren't getting together with my like extended family this year, my mom was like, oh, we're still gonna have a nice Thanksgiving dinner. And then Roxanne was over for recording. She was like, oh, you're staying for supper?
And I was like, sure. I was like, Victor was kicking me out. She's like, I got a dinner with my family.
I didn't know what the vibe was, so I was like, whatever.
No, I know, of course. And I respect that about you, because if your family didn't want me there, you know that I'd rather have you say, go home, than just be like, yeah, you can come with us, and then your whole family being irked that I'm there. So I respect that about our friendship.
They love that you were there. Life of the party.
Of course.
Life of Thanksgiving.
But I want to say, even before that, so it just starts off hot, because they came. I was house sitting for the weekend, and then with Nadia or whatever. But so Sunday night specifically, Nadia had to leave, and then I came back after work, so I was alone. So whatever, like Victor drives me home, and we're like talking. We're like, okay, like tomorrow we'll meet around like 12 or 1 to record. So hot start. We both texted, like Victor texted me, but like I was about to text her to be like, hey, can we meet around like 2 and like later, because like I'm not awake. Yeah. And then she did, so I was like, perfect, already hot start. Yeah. You know, classic us. Oh yeah. Whatever, like we both needed our sleep. Some more than others, you more than others.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that too, and I want to take a shower really bad. It's like, you know, you need the after trip shower. Like, I would not feel good if I didn't take that shower. Of course, so I needed my time.
You needed it. I needed my sleep because I worked late Saturday and then early Sunday. Yeah. Like I had an 8 a.m. shift on Sunday, and just a fun fact: the subway is open at 8. On Sunday. Like they open at 8. So when I'm at work, I need to get there via subway. Luckily there's a shuttle bus. So that's fun. But anyways. So hot start, and then so I picked up a game for Victory. So she ordered, we were talking about this on the last podcast, Tapple. So Victory ordered it, and then like it didn't come in.
They canceled it. They said it was canceled. And then I get an email and it's like, pick up your order in Indigo. And I was like, what? So then, and then it took me off guard because I wasn't expecting it, and then I was getting like ready for Chicago, working every day. So it's like, Roxanne, you work near this store now, please
please. And I did.
Yeah.
And then I picked it up. Well, granted, the first time I forgot it. I felt so, I was on the bus and I was like, and I think that day I was just having like a really crappy day.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I forgot it. And I was like, it's like the smallest thing she could have asked me to do. Not even like, oh, like, can you pick up the game because it's sold out? Like, you know, like buy and I'll pay you back. Like, no, it's just go there, show them this email and say, can I pick up the game? And I couldn't do that. So I'm like on the bus and I was like,
oh my
what a
God.
bad friend I am. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, all this stuff. And then like, I was like, oh, can I pick it up? Like, I was literally, so I wasn't originally supposed to work on Wednesday. And then at that time I hadn't switched shifts. So originally, so I was there on Monday and then Tuesday I couldn't go in, but I was like, do you think I can pick it up on Wednesday? And she was like, yeah, like no problem. And I was like, I was just going to go and pick it up. Like I wasn't working on Wednesday. I was going to go pick it up because I was like, there's no way that I can't do this for her. Like no freaking way. And then luckily I did end up switching shifts or whatever because I had needed the Friday off so I could watch Delilah. And it worked out perfectly that I did end up getting it on Wednesday. But so flash forward to Victory texting me on Thanksgiving. She's like, oh, make sure to bring the game. And I'm like, valid. The fact that it wasn't already in your house, I tried so hard to bring it. I stared at the game and I was like, oh, I'm going to bring it with me because I went home. Like, also, let me paint you a picture. Thursday rolls around and I know that they're leaving like Friday. Like I knew it was like 4, like something wild, like 4 or 5 a.m.
Well, very wild.
Right? I knew that. And I didn't think to myself, like, oh, I might as well just stay over Thursday because I'm also literally tutoring Augustus. So I will literally be at their house Thursday night. I didn't think anything of it. But granted, it was also because, again, I worked late Wednesday and then super early Thursday, had a long shift on Thursday, had soccer practice Thursday, and then tutored Thursday. So I was just kind of out to lunch the whole time. So just hot off the press. I didn't think things through. So flash forward to Friday morning. I get out of bed, whatever, and I like pack up my stuff and like I ordered HelloFresh because for a video we did HelloFresh, whatever. So I had to bring that with me because it was kind of like on the last leg of its race. If I didn't eat it this weekend, it would have been done.
Yeah.
So I brought all that stuff. I brought all my clothes and I was like, you know, I didn't have time to do laundry, so I'll just do it at your place. I was like, whatever. Your mom says I can use it. So
Exactly.
I know how to run the washing machine. So
why not take full advantage?
And then I stare at the game. And I stare at my Peaches sweater, and I was like, okay, I want to bring both of these. So I put the Peaches sweater in the bag with the game and proceed to leave it in my house.
Heck yeah.
So as I walk over. So I walk over to your place, you know, walk Delilah's feet or whatever, and I was like, oh, I forgot some stuff. I have to go home. I didn't go home Friday.
Yeah.
Ask me why. There's no answer. It's silence. It's radio silence on this end. Because then on Saturday when Nadia's like, oh, I'm coming at like 10 a.m. I was like, oh, funny. I have to go home. And she's like, oh, like what? And I was like, I just have a few things to get. I left the game again. like guys, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. I cannot believe my own incompetence sometimes.
Look, I got it. You want the game. Just say it.
I know. You got me. I wanted to keep it. I wasn't planning on giving it back to you. So then, like, again, I showed up to, like, Saturday. Granted, I had other stuff that I brought. But I forgot that. And I was like, well, great. Whatever. YOLO. And then flash forward to, again, so Monday, so Victor's like, can you bring the game? And I was like, yeah. So yeah, it's already embarrassing that I didn't bring the game. I had like 7 opportunities to bring the game and I didn't freaking bring the game. So I bring it. And then we're kind of like talking about it and we're like, oh, like that seems cool, whatever. Yeah. And then we're like, yeah, we'll play it after we record. We're like, we'll get down to business first. Yeah. We proceed to play for an hour. Like, literally, I'm pretty sure it was a full hour of us playing this game because we were just like, oh, let's just do one. Let's just try it out. Yeah. And then we just proceeded to play this game for a freaking hour. Like, I kid you not. It was so funny. And then even, like, your dad, like, he came into the kitchen and then he was like, oh, you guys are done? And we're like, nope, haven't even started. And he's like, what are you guys doing? And then we were like, just like, we're setting up. And I was like,
yeah, he was on a roast sesh.
Your dad woke up that day and he's like, I'm flaming everyone
today. This guy either like doesn't speak. Okay, he has 3 modes. A, radio silence. B, B, soccer talk. Like if you trigger something about soccer, he won't stop about soccer. C is just nonstop speaking utter nonsense. And it's like half of that nonsense is to get reactions out of people. So this is 3 modes.
And it works. I think he likes talking to me because I give him that reaction.
Yeah. You give the exact reaction that he wants.
Yeah.
So it was a big C day. And a big B. And a bit of B.
Big B. Yeah. In the end, we wrapped up with a big B. But in the beginning, for the good chunk of the day, it was a C day.
He roasted you so hard for something right when we sat down for Thanksgiving table, and I was like, oh my god.
Was it right when we said? I know he roasted me for the hot pumpkin pie.
He
he flamed me like the pumpkin pie was getting cooked.
Yeah.
Like,
but I was like, it was something right that when we sat down right away, and I was like, oh my god, calm down. I can't remember what it was. Shoot.
There's just so many things going on.
He roasted me cooking, but that's the usual. Yeah, the usual.
That's like at least once a time I see you.
Yeah.
I remember one time he flamed her. He was like, oh, like what are you gonna do when you move out or something, whatever. And then I was like, I joked. I was like, oh, or Victor, because Victor's like, oh, like takeout or whatever. And then he's like, you're gonna eat out take every day. And I was like, well, that's why I'll move in with her. And then he was like, okay. He's like, I'm getting it. Yeah. I was like,
he was shocked. He was like,
she got me.
She plays around. Yeah. Like she like goes back and forth.
She can give and take, you know.
Oh, I can't remember what he said in the beginning.
We have to remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was about? My job, my looks.
I can't remember, but it was so good. I was like, what the heck?
I missed it.
Damn it, I forgot. No, you knew it because like you laughed too. We both. But I can't remember. Damn it. Okay, it'll come to me eventually.
Yeah. So he was just so funny, and then like, so just like starts off hot too because so like your mom got like some chicken or whatever. Like it wasn't jerky, but it was like chicken. Yeah. So, it was the fork, wasn't it? Like he was like, why is your fork here?
Oh, I think I don't know if it was that was another thing.
Yeah, that was later. That was just another of his many. So like whatever. So we had chicken, and then I'm like putting some on my plate. Like I'm not a big meat eater. Yeah, like neither are you. But like even in my family, like I'd say I'm the least meat eater, and then my dad's like second closest. Where like both of us are the types that like we don't really enjoy meat. We'll kind of have it because it's there. Like why not? So like I was just planning on taking a little bit, and your dad just kept being like, take more, and he's like, I don't want any, like just take more. So he kept making me take chicken. Granted, the chicken was delish. It was just like I was also taking, and I was like, why do you want me to eat so much chicken so bad? So it made me kind of laugh in that sense. What else? And then I accidentally left my fork, so like I didn't like eat with it and then like put it to like spoon it around or whatever. Like I just used my fork and then pass it around. So he was like, at one point he was like, why are you giving me your fork? Like, so like I gave it to him specifically. I was like, I didn't, but I'll take it back.
My favorite is that he just randomly brings up the fact, like he's like I just like planning his memory because I have zero memory. I don't think you have any memory of this ever occurring, but he just basically tells us a story. He's like, yeah, I remember because he used to pick me up at school every single day. I got a ride home. I didn't take the bus because he went to work at like 3 or something, so it always worked out that he picked me up at school, so back in elementary. And then he's like, yeah, I remember. But he started like, I remember you were this tall. Yeah. And if you're wondering what this height that I'm pointing at is, it's about a foot off the ground. Yeah. Like he like leaned out of his seat. He wasn't just like, I remember you were like, it's different if it's one thing if he was just like, I remember you being so small or like you so short. He was like, I remember you were this short. He's like a foot off the ground. I was dying because it's facts. Yeah, it is facts.
I was like, but babe, that wasn't just elementary school. That was me from birth through grade 11. Like,
it's so funny. So he does that, and he's like, yeah. And then I remember you came running, like speeding, like running, like she was this short, running down the aisle, and she yells at you, BFFL for life. I was like, what? This is such a random, like, first of all, he made it seem like this happened when we were both like 6 years old. It was minimum 5th grade. That's minimum.
He was like, I remember from like JK, and I was like, we both started in SK.
Yeah, I was like, that's step 1. Step 2, we were started like that. It would only happen minimum 5th grade.
Minimum, because that's when we started. Like we weren't necessarily like weren't enemies. No. It was just like we hang in. It's funny because our class was so small. Yeah, like we hung in different circles.
Literally 29
kids.
Like,
we weren't close. Yeah. Yeah. So it was just like, you know, like we weren't enemies or whatever. Yeah. But then grade 5, that's when we became like close.
BFFLs.
And BFFLs for life. And that's just what he kept saying, because I was like, I know that I definitely said BFFL.
Yeah.
And he's like, what does that stand for? And I was like, best friend for life. But he was saying BFFL for life. And I was like, oh, I
and
love
like this has to be civic memory, because he doesn't have that knowledge in him to know what that acronym is.
Like he definitely didn't come up with it.
No,
you
so
know,
this actually had to happen.
It really sat in his brain, and I love that that's what stood out to him too. And then also, I just love the idea of me just like sprinting, yelling that, like, oh my gosh. And it's only so much funnier because, like, even now, like, you think I'm pretty hyper, and like Victory's like, well, I mean, I feel like on the podcast you're more like how you are with me or whatever, but like to the outside world, like, she's so quiet. Everyone judges her as like, or like, sorry, not judges her. Everyone writes you off as like super quiet.
Yeah.
So then just the idea of me sprinting, yelling at one of the quiet kids in the class, being BFFL for life, was hilarious to me. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, that sent me. And then like, what else? He was like bringing up like just random like memories and stuff. And then he mispronounced this one boy's last name, and I felt so bad because I pretty much just laughed in your dad's face.
It was so funny though.
But it wasn't the fact that he didn't remember a last name, because it's like, who cares? It was the last name itself, and I was hanging on by a thread. Like, this guy, like, it completely changed his identity.
Yeah,
like,
it was so funny.
So bad. It was I loved that. It was so, and he like kept saying it. I was like, I am on the brink of extinction.
It was a nuts dinner.
So then he was like, we were just talking about like dogs or whatever, and he was referring how like Delilah's like such a big dog, and then he's like, yeah, like I could never have one of those little cockroach dogs. And I was like, he's like, one of those little cockroaches. And then also he didn't just say cockroach, he said cockroach.
Nuts.
That man was we were just unhinged. Like, I don't know. And then he was just telling me about how like, oh, I can't. Like, he was just unhinged that day, and like me and him were sitting next to each other, and I was like, we're having the time of our life right here, right now. And then obviously when we got to soccer talk, then we got some soccer talk, but still. Oh, one thing I forgot to point out to you. Oh my gosh, wait, let me reset the camera. So your dad was so Victory's dad is a soccer coach.
Was now. He's officially retired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
Well, from that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he was a soccer coach for a long time, whatever. And like, as any good coach, like you kind of make your own notes throughout the years, like if you've been doing it for a long time. So he like pulls out his book because we're in a soccer tournament this Saturday. Well, not you, sorry. Me, Augustus, and then like a bunch of other people from our dance group and like just friend group overall. And so it's one thing to show the book or like the notes or whatever. I was actually interested because like I'm kind of like the coach on this team, and like I've never played organized soccer, so I actually did appreciate the help. It wasn't that. It was that when he was showing me, I noticed a little watermark at the bottom left. Do you know what it is?
No.
So I take it that your dad didn't have Microsoft Word, because at the bottom it said Microsoft. So I think it was a knockoff form of Word, because it was two words with separated by a space. It literally said micro and then shop. SCHOFM. How are you?
You feel me?
Yeah. He definitely heard that I was here, and he's like, I need to ask you about soccer practice.
He must know.
I can't. But yeah. So it said micro shop.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny. I can't. And I didn't want to laugh in his face, because I knew that like the notes and stuff were really helpful. Well, granted, like it's a different style of soccer that we're playing. Like we're playing only 6, but he only had it for like 9. But the gist of it was important. So I didn't want to laugh because like he wouldn't understand why.
Yeah.
But just seeing Microsoft.
That's hilarious.
Like it was something along those. It might have been like Micro Schroff, but it was something that like it was a knockoff of Microsoft, and it made me laugh so hard. I forgot to talk to you about that, because like after I was just talking to Victor, I was like, oh my gosh, like that was one of the best Thanksgivings ever. It was so funny, like for no reason, but just specifically the BFFL for life, me sprinting around yelling that at you, and then Micro Schroff was just.
And then the debate of the century: do people eat pumpkin pie hot or cold?
Yeah.
I've never in my life heard of someone who ate pumpkin pie warm.
Well, but that's the thing, because you cook it. Pumpkin pie's cooked.
It is cooked, but like when you buy it from the store, you just put it in the fridge and you pop it out and you cut it.
I don't know. I feel like I've always had it warmed up.
That's crazy. I've always had it
because I always picture it with like whipped cream and it was melting.
No, but I picture it without whipped cream. It's like just a cold bite.
Ugh. Well, I hate that. I'm not a big cold food person. If you haven't
Every
noticed.
other pie warm, but pumpkin pie cold. Actually, no, lemon meringue it's cold.
Yeah, that's a cold pie. Like that's a cold pie.
But like pumpkin is more equivalent to that than like an apple pie. You know what I mean?
No, because lemon meringue. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. But lemon meringue pies aren't cooked. So what you do is you cook the shell and then you put the topping in and then you cook the meringue. Like you torch the meringue.
That does make sense.
And key lime pie too. But I'm 99 to 100% sure you cook pumpkin pie. Yeah, but so that's why for me, logically,
you cook it back.
You warm it up. You warm it up,
I understand
right?
the logic, but like it took me and my dad off guard because like we're both only cold pumpkin pie.
Your dad made fun of me. It was so funny. I can't remember. He was like, oh, your own pumpkin pie. And I was like,
this poor girl just trying to have Thanksgiving dinner.
It was a hoot.
It was a nuts time.
I was loving it. I was like, are you kidding me? I love that I could just joke around, josh around with your family, you know? It's like, I josh around with you, so it makes me feel better, you know? I was like, I feel like for years they've heard me just like josh around with you and you never retaliate. And I'm like, you're making me look bad over here.
But yeah, that was Thanksgiving in the books.
Yeah, that was holy smokes. I'll never forget that. That was a hoot and a half. And then also, me and you playing Tapple, and then you constantly going, "You're too fast." And I was like, "It's a game against the timer."
But no, it's nuts. So Tapple, basically, I think I explained it last podcast. Basically, what it is, it's like it's a wheel of the alphabet, and then you get like a category. So like, food, and then so you go A, apple, and you press down A, so no one else can say A, and you go back and forth, and you have 10 seconds to get a letter down. She's so fast, guys. It's not even funny. Like literally, like I'll press apple, she'll banana right away, and then like it's not even enough time for me to. Like I'm still just being like, oh, I'm done with apple. What's next? It's like she's so fast. It's insane. It's literally insane.
But like that's literally the game.
It's the game. I get it. But like you're too fast.
Sorry, I'll slow down next time. I'll slow down. That's so rude of me.
But yeah, it's a really fun game. So if you can get your hands on it, I recommend. Speaking of games, oh my gosh. So last week or 2 weeks ago now, I don't even remember. We had a dancing performance. You were working, so you couldn't come to that one, unfortunately. But then afterwards, it was not early, but we were like, oh, like let's do something. Like we're all together. Why not? We asked you, but you were at a sleepover with your friend downtown.
Yeah.
A couple of us went to some like games cafe thing after.
You guys went? I thought you went to Nuit Blanche.
We did, but then we were gonna go to a games cafe. There's a games cafe beside it because the Nuit Blanche we went to the Etobicoke one, and there's a games cafe beside it. But hot start, we get there, we walk to the place, we walk in, and they're like, oh, we close in 20 minutes. And we were like, oh, okay,
just your luck.
Yeah.
Did no one check the time?
Alejandro did, but they said they closed at 12, but they were closing at 11:30 instead. And I don't know if it was a Google problem or if it was because we actually saw the two workers at Nuit Blanche, so I don't know if they were just skipping out and like closing early.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So, but anyways, we were like, well, what do we do? Then 3 of us had to use the bathroom really badly.
So you just peed right in their front lawn.
Yeah, no. So then we felt bad for not using the bathroom. So we were like, do we just sit for 20 minutes and play a game, like a quick one? And they're like, yeah, sure, let's do that. So we played What Do You Meme?
Your favorite.
I hate those games.
Yeah.
That and Cards Against Humanity is the worst of them all. That game deserves to not exist.
Yeah.
What Do You Meme is a little bit better because at least there's like funny pictures involved, but I still do not like it.
Yeah. It's a stretch.
Just because like I don't know, I just don't get the humor of it. No one gets what I find in the cards funny, and clearly
but okay. In all honesty, I know when it's your card because it's either so funny, like just because like it's so well put in place, or it's so funny because it's so not funny, and then I'll be like, I know that one's Vic's. Yeah. It's like even like when other people get it, you put your card down, I'm like, I know that's yours, and then I always look at you and you're like, yeah.
So that might have happened again. So we have the whole group of us, but the funniest part was that it was me and Andri. No one found our stuff funny. everyone else was getting points except me and Andri every single time.
So
like we both were like 0 points the whole game. And then at one point too, so I think it was Alejandro's turn, and he puts all of like people's cards down, and he's like, you know, gonna do process of elimination, and he's like, not this one for sure. And Andri was like, that's mine. And we're all like, ha ha ha. And then he goes, not this one for sure. And I was like, that's mine. And it was just a theme, and then it was always everyone else except me and Andri. But then second to last round, Andri wins one, and I was like, of course. No. And then the last round, I was the judge, so I couldn't get a point.
Damn.
So I was the ultimate loser of What Do You Mean?
Damn.
But I just found it hilarious that like me and Andri just ours were eliminated immediately. Like no one found ours funny.
That's so funny. Like, I love that for you.
Yeah, it was a typical one.
To be fair, that's so usual, Andri. Like I feel like no one's ever on the same wavelength as him. Like even when we play like Taboo and stuff, like this guy one time full on the word was envelope. He was running with envelope. And it was just no one was getting it. And like even funnier with Taboo, like he would like sit there and he'd be like and then he'd be like, and then start tossing clues like 3 minutes in, and I'm like, it's a timed game, babe, you know. But yeah, I gotta say, like it was funny we went to Board Game Cafe after one of our wedding performances, and it was actually, this game wasn't that bad. It was like you played it actually. It was I can't remember what the name was called. It was like a game where like basically you got a prompt and then like everyone had to pick one.
Accusations?
Oh yeah, accusations. So you had to pick a prompt, and then you had to pick someone in the group who like related to the prompt or whatever. And like it was so funny because like me and Dri were tied for so long for number one, and then like he just like consistently, like he was like getting so like into it, where like I would never picture Andri for like one of these games to take it so seriously. He's usually into like the strategy games or whatever, and he was just like so into it. And then like there was one round where I think I got like 6 in a row and he got like 0, and he was like getting so mad. And then later turns out he was like adding points onto himself. Like Alejandro won in the end because Andri, like, he gave himself a couple points, and I was like, dirty cheater. But then also actually reminds me of one time, so we were playing this other game, I think you would like it. I think it's called Wavelength or something. So pretty much you get a prompt, and then one person on that team thinks of, so they have to, I'm trying to think, so you get a category, you get, what's the word? A spectrum with one thing on the one extreme and with another. So for example, be like, tastes really good and then tastes really bad, right? So 2 opposites. And then this thing, like there's a sliding scale where like you randomly spin it, and then it tells you like where you want like your people to guess. So they have to like turn the knob and try to guess where it is based on what you describe. So for example, tastes good, tastes bad. Like let's say like you want to get it on like taste bad side, you're like a hard-boiled egg, you know, where it's kind of like, there's worse things in the world, but it's not great, you know? So at one point it was me, Andri, and Alejandro on a team. And it was so funny because whenever, so one of my prompts was useful and not useful. And then for me, I said scissors. Because in my household, scissors are like the go-to. Yeah. We use them like instead of cutting with a knife, like instead of cutting things, we just use scissors. We have paper scissors, we have food scissors, we have scissors everywhere and anywhere. You name it, we have a pair of scissors for it. So for me, it was a pair of scissors that was useful. Yeah. So Andri, who is my blood relative, also slides it right where it was at. And then Alejandro comes in and he's like, no, scissors aren't that useful. And talks Andri into scissors being not useful. Disgrace for Andri for giving in. Disgrace for Andri not knowing me, and disgrace for Alejandro for ruining my night, because scissors are so useful and I will stand by it.
A good pair of scissors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, enough for you to steal. Some bad scissors are good enough for you to steal from me. But that reminds me of actually, so at one time at work, someone, I think they bought like one of those everywhere belt bags or whatever. So I guess she wanted to use it like right after purchasing it. So like she leaves or whatever and she comes back. She's like, oh, do you have a pair of scissors? And I was like, oh, I don't think so. And I was like, why? Like, what's the purpose? Immediately, yeah, scissors are useful. And everyone's telling me scissors aren't that useful. But anyways, she's like, you have scissors? And I was like, no. And then I was like, why? And she's like, I want to take off the tag or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, let me do that. And I just like pulled it off, and she was like, and then like I look up at her and she's like, you're so strong. And I was like, oh, for me it was like nothing.
You should have known. If scissors were so useful, you would have asked that right away in your interview. Or you keep your scissors.
You should bring your own.
Yeah.
I would, but Victor stole mine in grade 10. Okay, well, so fun fact, Ada works with me, but I'm not gonna lie, Ada, that stung. This betrayal is noted. It's actually on the record now. So Ada is actually my mortal nemesis now. But to be fair, I think do you and Adri have mild beef? I'm pretty sure you guys do, yeah.
But I feel
yeah, I think you and my brother, for some reason have beef. I don't know why, but I'm sensing it.
I sense it too.
Yeah. So this guy's out to lunch though. Like he's straight up like we teach together and like he was going home and I left my slippers at home and I was tutoring. So I was like, I'm not going home between tutoring and teaching. So I was like, can you pick up my slippers? And he's like, yeah. And then as a joke, he's like, don't forget to put out the chairs because one of our opening things or whatever. And then I was like, haha, he's so funny. Like, whatever, but he jokingly reminded me, and then later he gets there and I was like, oh, so I put the chairs up. I was like, did you get my slippers? And he's like do you need them? And I was like, yeah. Like, so you had to go back and get them. And I was like, and so everyone's like, where's Pandandri? And I was like, he's getting my slippers. And he was literally at home and he was like, oh, Oksana, do you need them? And I was like, yes. So that kid's out to lunch. We forgot to eat the beef jerky.
Oh yeah,
Before we sign off, get out. Okay. So before we continue on, so Victor, I didn't do small test yet.
Mm-hmm.
So before we begin, Victor asked me, I like watermelon, yes? And I said yes. Yeah. And she says, so you'll like watermelon jerky. So it's dried watermelon. And I know I'm not going to like it because I hate all dried fruit.
Do you want a preview of how good it is?
Sure.
I bought it for Alejandro. He left it at my house.
That's so funny.
So everyone can try it.
Okay.
Take that as you will.
That man eats pork rinds, which is dried pork skin. And then toasted to become fluffy. Good. It's disgusting. This looks like a piece of skin. Why is there so much? Oh, is that a seed? Yeah. Why didn't they do seedless watermelon? What a bunch of fools. Okay, I'm not eating the seed.
Thanks.
It's not crunchy. But it's crunchy.
The more it lingers, the worse it gets.
It literally tastes like cardboard.
Yeah, but then it's gonna be like a sticky liquid. Once it like melt, it's not.
Oh, the texture is.
I'm gonna try. Oh,
the texture is awful.
Yeah, I don't know why they left the seeds in. That's a weird.
Oh.
It's there. Like you pulled it and it's there.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Eat it. I had to eat the whole thing. Eat it.
I'll even have solidarity.
Oh, a small tiny piece. That's disgusting. Who sells that and who eats it? Also, that's so offensive that you thought for some reason Alejandro would like that.
No, I didn't. No. I bought him some like and then something else. But I thought that was like so stupid that it had to be tried. I don't know.
It's disgusting.
Ugh, it just gives me the shakes. Ugh.
Oh, that's awful. Reminds me of when I tasted molasses.
Do you see what I mean? Like it's like crunchy at first, but then it becomes like a sticky like. Ugh.
But that's because it's dried watermelon. Any dried fruit does that because I mean your saliva rehydrates it. It just tastes disgusting.
Mm-hmm. It's not a fruit that should be dried. But I just saw it and I was like, what the heck? That's so weird. America is weird.
Yeah, I don't like that one bit. Serving size 1 package. Yeah, right. Okay, as though anyone's eating this, the whole package. No one's eaten more than 1 piece.
Are you waiting for seconds?
Yeah, my favorite. No. Well, you can enjoy that.
Maybe Nadia will like it.
Fingers crossed. There's only one way to find out. Be all right, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. My brother just texted me fake fan because I told him I'm not bringing him shoes to volleyball. I'm not going volleyball. So, fake fan is right. Mm-hmm. Don't be a fake fan. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on all your favorite podcasting platforms. We're probably there. You can also watch our podcast on YouTube and watch our YouTube videos as well. So remember, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, 2GirlsBeingBros, and then on Instagram, 2GirlsBeingBros _ The 2 is a number.
Again, you guys listen to this on Spotify. Also, Spotify has video now, so you can watch us on Spotify. Please make sure to give us a rating or a review. That will be nice.
Give us 2 big thumbs up.
Heck yeah. But with that, guys, thanks for coming. We'll see you guys next week. And with that, remember, kids, don't do too much.